name is Jerry Henderson. I'm the chairman of the MLK activities. I'd like to welcome you and thank you all. This year is a little different than in the past. I'd like to thank the family still representing Reverend Clarence Tucker for getting this started. I would like to thank each of you for attending. As I said, things are a little different this year, but we're doing the best we can. We will proceed with the program, and I will be available for any questions you might have. MLK means to me change, going in a different direction, working together, just doing things together as a team instead of individually. I would like to thank my board members for putting up with me as we continue to go forward with what MLK means to us, what MLK means to the community, what MLK means to the state. We're doing our best to bring the community together.
It's a little different this year, but I want to take just a moment before I read the proclamation to say that the very first proclamation I gave as county judge in 2015 was at this very event, the Martin Luther King Jr. celebration. We were gathered in person then, but it was at this event. It's kind of fitting that the last proclamation that I give is going to be at this same event, although virtually the last proclamation I give as county judge will be at this event. So I do have in front of me a Cook County proclamation in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, January 18th, 2021. It reads, whereas each year the third Monday of January honors the birth, life, and dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and whereas Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is the only national holiday designed as a national day of service to encourage all Americans to volunteer to help improve their communities. And whereas it is a time to remember the injustice that Dr. King fought, a time to remember that he fought for freedom, equality, and dignity of all races and people through nonviolence. And whereas Martin Luther King was a man that brought hope and healing to America, we commemorate this timeless values that he taught through his example, the values of courage, truth, justice, compassion, dignity, humility, and service that radically defined his character and empowered his leadership. On this day, we commemorate the universal, unconditional love and forgiveness and nonviolence that empowered his revolutionary spirit. And whereas Dr. King once said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, now it is time that we make justice a reality for all. Now therefore be it proclaimed, Cook County does honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. for his contributions to our country as a whole by declaring January 18th, 2021 as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day here in Cook County, signed on the 13th day of January 2021 by County Judge Jason Brinkley. Thank you, and it has been an honor to join you in this event.
Like you, I wish we could all be together in the Civic Center today celebrating Dr. King and his legacy of equality, peace, and unity. Thank you to the MLK Committee for making this virtual meeting a reality. 2020 has been an incredibly difficult year for all of us. It seems now, more than ever, we need to redouble our individual efforts to unify as a community and as a nation. Abraham Lincoln once said, America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves. Our nation is stronger than that, and I don't believe we will destroy ourselves. I do believe it is critically important that we each ask ourselves what we can do as individuals to ensure that we really are one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The divisions in our nation are not as wide as they seem and are easily amplified by 24-hour news and out-of-control social media platforms. Most people are good. Most people love their fellow man, and most love our country. Don't let the haters on either side of the spectrum tarnish your belief of what is possible for everyone and each of you in our great nation. With intentionality and forethought, we will not only survive, we will thrive. Let's listen more and talk less. Let's engage in civil dialogue and refrain from yelling. Let's really try to walk a mile in your neighbor's shoes. Just that simply, great things can happen. If we can all have that focus and all engage in those efforts, we really can live Dr. King's dream of being a nation whose citizens will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Please continue to pray for peace, pray for our fellow man, pray for our nation, and pray for our world. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.
When I think of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I think of three words: freedom, hope, and peace. With freedom, he fought for people of color to have the same rights as others. We have made great strides due to his diligence. Hope. In his speech, I Have a Dream, it was his hope that we all unite and walk hand in hand. One day, praying, while I'm here to witness it, we will all see unity in our country. Peace. He wanted peace and equality for all. Unfortunately, this fight is still present today. But I have hope that one day we will be a peaceful nation that provides equality for all.
In the 4th grade, I memorized Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s infamous I Have a Dream speech. The line, "I have a dream that my 4 children will grow up in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character," remains true today. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is a perfect reminder that the time is always right to do what's right.
His morals and ideas, not just from his very famous speech, but everything he has used before his death, are still relevant in society today. We are still facing a never-ending war on civil inequality, and we must all understand that Martin Luther King's efforts to improve society just broke the ice of what future cohorts would have to withstand.
We are representing DBYA, Dream Builders Youth Association. And what we feel like MLK means to us is all the kids getting together, people, period, getting together and making his dream come true. With that being said, this organization helps the youth of all kind. We just make sure that they are happy and they are doing the dreams that they want to do. MLK, DBYA. Dream Builders Youth Association.
We would all be better off if we were to follow Dr. King's example. I thank him for being able to bring us a world that is working towards becoming better, even if its progress is slowed at times. I thank him for working towards a better world that had only been imagined, leaving us to follow in his actions. The best way we can thank him for his efforts and sacrifices is by following the example and principles that were put forth by Dr. King. We can take another step towards a better world. It is not too late to return to the path of improvement. We can continue to work towards a world in which peace is no longer a fantasy, a world in which there is tranquility, a world in which a kind heart is no longer considered to be naive, a world in which harmony is the only lifestyle. Imagine being able to live to see such a world. Imagine being able to give future generations such a life. This should be the world we open our eyes to every waking moment. We can achieve this reality. This reality is my dream.
Martin Luther King Jr. set the bar for standing up for what's right, to not be afraid to use your voice. MLK's name in itself is a movement. When you hear those initials, you understand the movement behind the man that fought so hard for us to be seen as equal. MLK's dream should be all of our dreams.
Martin couldn't live with the fact that there was something wrong and nobody was doing anything about it. King never ran away from his problems, and that is something we have in common. I will always stand up for what is right and for what I believe in. King used his skills and characteristics to inspire others and bring attention to this injustice. Martin Luther King Jr. held non-violent protests and speeches, which then inspired others. It also helped change others' minds and opinions about equality. When I think of peace, I think of a place where everybody gets along and respects other ideas and beliefs. A place where nobody has to worry about whether or not they fit in. Instead of judging others for how they look or what they say, people will help them out and guide them through a better path. Peace to me is not based on perfection, because no one will ever be perfect. It is based on a selfless effort to make the world a better place for everyone.
Two words come to my mind when I think of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Peace and harmony. Dr. King had a beautiful vision of what our world could be. A world filled with peace and harmony for everyone. One of my favorite quotes from Dr. King is, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." The hate and injustices that Dr. King fought so hard to end are still present today. But love is and will always be bigger than hate. Thank you, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., for leaving your incredible mark on our world.
Martin Luther King Jr. embodies the example of Black leadership, courage, and unwavering determination. He knew that only love could drive out hate, and only constant activism would bring about the social change we continue to advocate for today.
By the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Excelente.
No tengo sueños, que un día mis 4 hijos vivan en una nación
donde no sean juzgados por el color de su piel, sino por la entereza de su Muy bien, excelente. I know who's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. I go to the movies and I go downtown. Somebody keeps telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. I go to my brother. I said, brother, would you help me please? But he